Welcome to Patrick's Scale Studio. My name's Patrick, and I'll be your host. Just wanted to catch up here real quickly here for USS Yorktown CV5. It's an epic project, and as such, it's going to take a long time to get this project completed. So, have I done more sanding on the hull? No, not over the winter. And the reason behind that is, well, as I sand, I get the plastic dust and bits and pieces all over absolutely everything. That was okay while I was my studio was located in the basement, but now that I've actually moved into an upstairs bedroom office space, it's a little bit more finished. Everything that I had up here was getting coated in sanding dust. So I'm going to have to continue the whole sanding and whole work out in the garage when it warms up a little bit, and I can stay out there for longer than 10 minutes without freezing half to death. That said, I have put some work into USS Yorktown CV5. Now, what you might ask? Well, go ahead. Here, I got it earmarked. I've been looking for replacements for part U-27. If you know anything about USS Yorktown, U-27 represents a water-cooled 50 caliber machine gun that was used for anti-aircraft purposes. Yorktown had 24 of these in 1940. They are in completely different spots on the ship in 1940 than they are in 1942. This layout here that Trumpeter has would have you go about putting them. So where might those be? Where might those all be located? Well, I'm going to go ahead and start here at the very back. There would be four right here, four right here, four more right here, four more right here, and then, let's see here, you would have four right in there with only two right in there. The story goes, as Yorktown took on 20 millimeter Oerlikons, they decided to retain their 50 caliber machine guns, and they just strategically put them in other places on the ship. So that's why Trumpeter depicts them in different places in the ship, as it would be in 1942. So U-27 right here. I'm going to do my best here to show this without it just looking totally awful, because they're tiny parts, as you can see by my finger there. But U-27, I'm going to turn it upside down now so you can actually see that as it stands. There's four of them right there. And I put a little bit of a wash on there, and then I also dry brushed a little bit of the Tamiya weathering powder compacts there, just to kind of try to bring out the detail. But as you can see, there's not much of it. I was dissatisfied with the water-cooled 50 cal machine guns that they've got depicted in plastic here. So I'll go ahead and put that aside and show you what I came up with instead. I went out looking for a 3D printed file, or a 3D print file, an STL file for these right here, and I only came up with one successful file that kind of fit what I was looking for. So this is it on its supports, and you can see it's got some very delicate features. I don't know if that's showing up very well against anything. I'll try to zoom in, and I'll try to post pictures as I've got. But at any rate, I went ahead and then got one pulled out of the supports. You might be able to see a little better there. It is a much more detailed and better looking piece than what comes in the kit, and that's okay. That's quite all right. For the most part, Trumpeter has put together an amazing kit. 1200 USS Yorktown. I mean, they're kind of one of the few companies that had the guts to do so to begin with. So they got some things wrong. Some of the detail might be a little bit basic, and that's why we get the Ponto sets. But for the most part, this right here is not depicted on any aftermarket by any aftermarket companies. I could not find that in 1/200 scale by any aftermarket manufacturer. So that's why I 3D printed these. printed about 40 to 50 of them. Some of them have kind of gone in the trash just due to the printing didn't work out 100% all the way. Like those teeny tiny little handles here in the back didn't come out all the way perfectly, or the support might have broken or something like that during the printing process. And it just happens because it's such a tiny little part. But I only need 24 of them. So with that much volume, I should be able to pick the 24 best out of there, get them all cleaned up out of all these supports, and then get them all cured and get them all put in place when it's finally time to do so. That is what I've been doing so far on Yorktown, because that was a missing piece of the puzzle. But now that that is here and I've got them printed out, it's going to be a blast once I get these all primed and painted, and then put a little bit of a wash on them, and then put a little bit of dry brushing on them to really bring out that detail and make it pop. So that is that for Yorktown so far. The next steps for Yorktown are going to be along the lines of, it is starting to warm up and starting to turn into spring here in the United States, especially in southern Ohio. So I will be able to get out into the garage and start the process of getting that hole further refined and sanded down into the shape that I want it to be in. But just wanted to give everyone a brief update that the project's not dead, it's not shelved, it just went dormant over winter while I looked for 3D printer files. But that's all I've got at this time for USS Yorktown CV5. So until next time, stay safe, happy modeling. Thank you for watching.